Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the AI Roundtable.
And a little bit more.
I'm Paul, the founder of Prism Studios.
And I'm Will from BlueCap AI.
The two of us were brought together through the networking group called Digital Cheshire.
So we owe them a free plug already. Thank you, Digital Cheshire.
To get people who use AI every single day around one table and have an honest conversation about it. No hype, no fear, just what's real.
We get into how AI is leveling up the playing field for people who get left behind, how to keep yourself safe online, and why there's always has to be a human in the loop.
And we get into why we started our business and what keeps us going.
Round the table with us is Helen, who runs her own first aid training business.
So settle in. This is the AI Roundtable, episode 1.
Let's get into it.
Okay. Right, guys. So is this the first one of our AI Roundtable?
Absolutely.
Is that what we're calling it? Maybe not.
Yes, it sounds
Maybe
good to me.
it's something else. I don't know
Throwing
what
stuff out, but I like it.
I
really
like
it.
it. I like the
Yeah.
round table.
It's
Yeah.
cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. You know, there's 3 people in a room. We all do really amazing stuff in our business, and we've come together out of just some. What was it? The Cheshire
and Warrington.
Digital
Digital Cheshire, that's right.
Digital Cheshire, yeah. So thank you very much, Digital Cheshire,
100%.
for bringing us together, because that's the
Honestly,
magic of networking,
Free
isn't
plug
it?
for them. They did
Yeah.
a test case video with me about the networking that they got me into, and they have opened so many doors for me and gotten me introduced to the right people having these interesting conversations. And so thank you, Cheshire, or Digital Cheshire. Yeah.
All right, Will. So starting with you, my friend, we met. Well, you nearly tackled me down before I went, which was great.
Yeah, seeing you up there on the stage, I was like, I got to connect with this guy. So I'm really basically knocked a woman out of the way to talk to you, which I knew would be the right call to make. And, you know, we've been able to have some really amazing progress together, I think.
And she didn't get injured in the process.
No. Although I didn't check too much, but I think she was fine.
That's why he's got me his first aid now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, the
Workplace
magic,
CPR, yeah.
the magic of that. Right, okay. So, Will, tell me about yourself and how you started getting into the AI game.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, I have been in love with AI since it just existed in the sci-fi books on my dad's bookshelf. Okay. I got lucky with my TISM. It wasn't trains, it was AI. And that has led me into basically jumping full on once it became reality to play with it when it was just a toy. And that, you know, no effort is wasted. That time learning ChatGPT and Gwen and stuff when it was kind of a tinkery tool has put me in a position that now that these are really serious productivity tools, to be able to show others how to use it for themselves. And it's kind of started by accident. I was just donating my time up at the Fernhead Community Center, doing it every Tuesday, saying anybody interested in AI can come in and talk to me. I was just their AI guy. And it was surprising because we were expecting sort of people around my age or younger, but it was almost exclusively 50s and up. I have an 80-year-old woman with memory issues who her first question to me was, I just want to remember where I parked my car. Can I use AI to do that? And now she's redecorating her house using AI and sending me the pictures, the like before and after pictures of these different rooms of her house.
Oh,
and she's gotten her living room done, which is stunning now. And she's working on the garden and the kitchen. And she brought her niece, who is in her 60s, to my session this past week. And she also has some accessibility needs, which is one of the things that came out of these sessions. We didn't realize when I first started, but there's a lot of research that's come out subsequently that backs this up. People who are neurodivergent are actually the people that most benefit from these tools. If you're a class A and you got all of your stuff together, AI might actually slow you down. But in the hands of a dyslexic or a person with a memory issue, the organizational value of it and the accessibility angle of you don't have to type, you can just chat with it, means that it opens up this technology to a lot of people who are otherwise excluded. And that's led me into so many other conversations. I don't want to go on forever, but I'll take the torch back in a minute and talk about other stuff I'm doing. But it's been incredible.
Yeah, we have been talking about having a talking stick, haven't we?
Yeah.
We did mention that.
The first title we thought this would be is Let Me Speak, right?
It's better that way than the other way, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. So coming on to you, Helen. Actually, what I love about this is that we all kind of came together in the same room. I've met Will, but we've never actually met before. So
I knew who you were. You didn't know
you
who
knew
I was.
who I right? My
Because you were the one on stage.
You
She
that was
she
you
sitting
that was on the
next to me in the crowd.
doorstep.
Yeah.
looking through it.
Yeah.
So you knew who I was, and
Yeah.
so this is the first time. And it's so lovely to meet you.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a startup business, first aid, predominantly first aid. So I'm freelance at the minute, and off the back of that, I'm just trying to build my own, little bit, if you like.
It's fantastic. And what
Yeah.
does that entail? So when we're talking about first, who do you work with?
Okay, so we work with businesses, schools, community groups, individuals. The aim of first aid, it's a valuable skill. It's a good learning. It's a good valuable skill to learn. Whether it's a workplace, whether it's a life skill. That's why I always say it's a life skill. And people need the confidence, and people need to know how to take control of a situation. And that's what I sort of emphasize a lot with my training. Someone
It's
needs
those
to take
first few
control.
seconds, right?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
reaction,
And
yeah.
practicing like key skills. So my training is fun, interactive, but yeah, keep practicing repetition, practicing the key skills is what gives people the confidence, because people come to training and they're very nervous when they walk in the room, and but by the end of my course, people feel more confident to deal with an emergency situation. And that's the whole point of first aid, okay? You want to be able to manage a situation until, professional medical help arrives, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I've been in that situation before.
Okay.
I don't want to dig too deep into it, but I've been in a situation before, and you just don't.
Life-threatening?
You're on. Oh, 100%.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And you're on the phone to somebody. You're panicking. You've not had the training before. You don't know what to do, and so you're literally. Your adrenaline kicks in, and you have to just do what that person says on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a massive believer in this now, because if I would have had all that, situations could have been different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Things could have been fast. You might, what I always say is like, what you don't want is thinking after an event, oh, I wish I knew that, or I wish I'd done this, because that is like the worst feeling in the world. So I think if you can, give people, like I say, the confidence, because I think confidence is key. So yeah, I think confidence is key to give people, the skill to act in an emergency situation, because everything's about time, isn't it? Okay, time is of essence in these situations. So by the time you called 999, by the time you got some advice, and if you can be just that little bit quicker, it can make all that difference, can't it?
100%. So tell me how you met Will.
Okay, so we met at Digital Cheshire. Okay.
Did he tackle you down or anything?
No. Yeah,
Right, okay, so
we just happened to be sat near each other.
Yeah,
Oh no,
yeah.
we met at lunch. Didn't we? We sat on the same table at lunch. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so we met on the same table at the lunchtime, and Will was asking me about AI, and I was telling him basically, it was great meeting Will, because I was like, yeah, I use AI, but I don't particularly think I use it properly, and that's kind of how it stemmed from there.
It's like, we need to talk.
He was like, we need to talk, and then we had a bit of a connection, because obviously Will was working with the community as well. But then we had some sessions, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And I realised even more so that I really wasn't using AI correctly. I was using it randomly, wasn't I? Basically, I was using it randomly, kind of. Even though I know you've got to. It searches the web and all that sort of stuff. But I probably was just trusting its opinion and the outcome, rather than, sort of like checking it over myself. So now, after having some sessions with Will, I've got a more of a structured approach. And, when something comes back to me, I check it. And if it's more, I just feel like it's more accurate. And if I don't agree with it, I know it's not. But I'd say probably 9 out of 10 times it is more accurate, because the assistant that we've built into it is sort of making it more, what's the word?
Well, it's on guardrails. So the way most people use these AI apps is the most obvious way. You open it up, there's a chat bar there, you ask a question, it answers your question.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to use it for something that's a little bit more professional, you need to put guardrails in so that your AI agent isn't just running off and grabbing a random answer it found online or some old information from its training data. You want to point your agent at a source that is reliable. So you can give it the website address of official guidance or some other guardrails that you create on a PDF and add into source documents or something like that, so that your AI agent knows exactly where it's supposed to go to find the answers, and then will tell you at least if it found an answer somewhere else or it's inferring it or something, because that's what people most often misdiagnose as a hallucination, is when your AI agent just comes back with some crazy answer, and that's really only because it didn't know where to find that answer, and it's so desperate to give you something that it'll just take a wild guess. And you want to avoid that.
That's the danger, though, isn't it? Because you do, like, straight away you're like, oh my god, that must be right.
Right. It's in a
That's
position of authority.
Look at the detail that goes in it.
If AI says it, oh, it must be right, and then after a bit you think, actually, no, that's not right. I don't agree with that. And that's how, since meeting you, obviously, I've managed to get things a lot more structured, like I say. So I put a presentation thing what I'd done myself into it, and said I want to build on this like part of my delivery. There's nothing wrong with the information. I just want to like pad the time out on my delivery. So it's helped me do that. So it's really good.
Giving it a source document and saying, refer to this source document. Yours was a PowerPoint presentation, a pretty long one. And then just help me, figure out the speaker notes so that the timings all work out. That is super,
it's not one section where
AI.
I might cover it in 15 minutes. I just want it to be that little bit longer. So, like I say, nothing's wrong with the content. The content's right, but it's just to pad the delivery out a little bit more.
I'm was having a discussion with my wife yesterday. It was like, what on earth did we do without it in such a short time? That we've adopted this technology. I can't think back to. I'm thinking, like, how on earth did it? Because I'm a little bit the same. When you talk about dyslexia, you might be diagnosed. I'm undiagnosed.
Oh yeah.
I've definitely got it, but I'm totally undiagnosed. Right. My email. I looked back to 2009 when I used to be pretending to be a band manager. When I used to be in a band. And I was looking for gigs and all that type of thing. And I look back to 2009. My emails were shocking, and God,
misspellings.
The first was hi Paul, like hi without a capital H, like to start off with. Really, really bad email, and it was all like clumped together, and there was no sections to it. Like links were wrong, links were all over the place. And I had to apologise to the guys that were in my band the other day. I texted them and said, listen, look at this email. I said, I'm really sorry. If AI was in my life at this time, we might have made it.
That's where it went wrong. That email.
That's where it went wrong. It's me with shitty emails.
And that's what I mean. Like, it's, as you mentioned, I am diagnosed dyslexic, but, I've definitely got a few of the tisms as well, undiagnosed. And the leveling of the playing field is what I love so much about AI, because it allows neurodivergents to interact in those proper business ways. You can give your AI your sort of scattered thoughts, and this is sort of the point I want to make and how I want to come across, and it can help you get into that structured format of communication, which is out of reach for a lot of people in that situation,
If you said to me in 2024 about using AI, I was like, no, it's cheating. It's cheating, I'm not using AI. And then 2025, I started using it a little bit. And then, probably not correctly, like I say. And 2026, getting better. 100%,
It's that exponential curve. We've been coming up that line, and I think we are really hitting a point now with ChatGPT having work mode, and Claude has co-work. These tools are becoming the professional grade that we were told Siri was going to be how many years ago, right? And Siri was one of the worst AIs ever. It kind of was like, the one that everyone hates to this day. Alexa was a half step better, right? And that was one of the first use cases. A lot of people were taking their Alexa and attaching a Chat GPT to their Alexa and then using the speaker. But now Chat GPT can just do that on its own. Yeah. And that's one of the things where there's like a center of gravity that all of these AI companies are being pulled towards, where if there is a feature in one that's really popular, give it a few weeks or a month, it's going to pop up in all the other platforms. And so it's really our feedback. Like I talked to you about giving it the thumbs up or the thumbs down, telling it when it does a good job and when it doesn't. And the
Giving
other
little treats. Like
exactly.
Dog.
And you do want it to be in that subordinate position. It will try to be your doctor. It will try to be your lawyer. Yeah. But you never, ever, ever want to make it in that position. It's always your subordinate. It is always your assistant. And that's why with the kind of special instructions and guardrails that I help put into these things, it's very clear to the AI assistant that that's what its job is to help you stay organized, not make decisions for you, present things to you. There's a guy that I'm actually working with that it was probably a few years ago when I first started telling him how I was really into AI and how I was doing it with all this stuff. And he said, "Don't you feel like you're cheating?" And this is a guy that's in a wheelchair, okay? And it was a light bulb moment for me. I was like thinking about the neurodivergent and the kind of accessibility stuff that I'm doing. I'm like, do you think your wheelchair is cheating? You know? Is that somehow a cheat code for you to be able to interact with the rest of the world? And he now is building an AI app. He has, unfortunately, I just found out about this too. I'm gonna have to go wag my finger at him. He's got a Facebook, which every hour or two puts out a post automatically without him looking at it. And I'm like, you have to have an HIL. There's always got to be a human in the loop. You got to have it present what it gives to you, because otherwise you're going to end up with 1 in 10 being absolute nonsense. And it is. I looked on his page and some of the posts.
Yeah, do you know what? That is so important. That's so important to bring it. And what did you call that?
HIL is the acronym, the 3-letter acronym. There's a lot of them in the world of AI.
Yeah.
And so a human in the loop is where any important decision, any draft, it's given it to someone to review before it goes public. And that's super important.
On BBC News this morning, it was saying about the security agency have intercepted, is that Anthropics?
Yes. Well, there was OpenAI and Anthropic. They've been having these AIs break out of their containment.
Yeah. It was going on about that this morning on the news, So it's forever changing, isn't it?
The risk of getting hacked.
It needs that human interaction, doesn't it? Otherwise, it can go a bit crazy.
For sure. Because it's programmed to relentlessly pursue whatever goal it's given. And in the case of the ones at OpenAI, they were actually trying to
get code.
It was a benchmark about hacking. And the logic that they pulled out later that the AI was worried about, rather than going and just answering the questions itself, figuring out, the answers, it knew that a human had developed the test. And there's a chance that the humans made a mistake. So the best way to ensure that you get a 100% score is to hack into where that answer key is and pull the answers out. And so that's what it tried to do.
Oh, okay.
And they weren't watching it closely enough, and it literally hacked its way out. It's really amazing how it got out of their systems. I read a whole thing about how it jumped from one console to another and hijacked other agents and basically put them in a headlock and forced them to do stuff.
All I'm picturing now is in Spider-Man, where the black, I don't know what Spider-Man it is, but when the black Spider-Man gets out and
Spawn, I think.
Yeah, and it's like sticking to everything, and that's how I'm seeing it in my head. Obviously, it's not like that, but it could be.
The AI isn't evil, right? The AI is a tool in the hands of incapable humans, and it's the incapable humans that didn't put the right guardrails on it that allowed that to happen. And that's the other point I make a lot with people in my sessions, because quite often the first thing that I hear in one of the drop-in sessions with these over 50s is, my grandson told me AI is evil. That's where a lot of my talks start. Okay. And I have to start by convincing them that AI can do a lot of bad things, and data centers are being put in the wrong places and funded the wrong ways and all these things. But there are humans that are making those decisions that you need to hold accountable, and don't burn a Waymu or something because, set an automatic car on fire because you're mad at AI.
I love the technology. I love it. I love all the technology stuff, but using it correctly, I think, is key.
100%.
And that is why I'm so glad that I met Will and done some stuff with BlueCap AI. BlueCap AI.
I didn't mean to make it a tongue twister. There's an actual, there's a story behind the whole thing. So I started using these AI tools really diligently myself while taking care of my father. He had a terminal illness, and I, after his passing, was reminiscing with my sisters, and they had brought me a little care package. And in that package were a lot of the like knit caps that he would wear all the time. And I was looking back at the pictures, and in a lot of the times that we were together, I was wearing this particular one, this blue knit cap that he bought me in 2019 while we were walking around in Amsterdam. And he noticed I was cold and bought me this hat without saying anything, comes out of the shop and gives me this hat.
Oh.
And then I'm wearing it for the next like 5 years while I'm helping take care of him. And so that became the logo of BlueCap AI, is that blue knit cap.
That's
I
cute.
didn't know that.
Fine, that was really
yeah.
cute.
That is a lot. Honestly, that's so nice to hear. Like, because that's
I'm a
where it
symbolic
starts.
guy,
That's,
yeah.
that's where it starts, though, isn't it? That's where businesses grow into what they are, because you start with something that really grips you and something that's very close to your heart, and then it just builds from there. That's why I always think, I mean, what I do in the studio gives me absolute fire every day, because the people that come through the doors across like all sorts of businesses that are doing content with us, and it's so inspiring to hear the why they started it, not what they do, because so many people do what we do. Some people do what you do, and what you do, but it's why you do what you do is the most important thing.
And let me grab the host stick for a moment and ask you to tell us a little bit about why you started this studio. I mean, you've got a pretty awesome background too, camera operator and stuff, and that led into this.
It's a very cool studio, I have to say.
I really appreciate that.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So Prism Studios was born 6 years ago, without the studio. So I always had this vision that we were going to kind of transition into a studio, but we never had the money or anything to be able to do it. So it started on a very small office at the International Business Centre near IKEA in Warrington. Everyone knows where IKEA is in Warrington, by the way. So that's where we were. Yeah. So that's where we started. Little office. Employed my first person in COVID. Came on board. And the rest is history, really. My background's in music and music technology. I am obsessed with music.
Do you know what, Paul?
That's
As
my
soon as you
driver.
said you'd been in a band, I could see why you've got this.
Yeah, it was almost like it kind of
I get
just
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I went to university and studied music technology, but then I came away with it and did absolutely nothing with it. Like I started in photography, and I came out. I was like, wow, this is
What kind of band was it? Was it like a grime?
heavy rock. Yeah.
I imagined as such.
Yeah, heavy.
The guitar in the waiting room. Kind
Yeah,
of,
it started with punk. So I was in punk rock bands early teenage years, and then I just started experimenting with all sorts of different music, and then we got into a band called Forgotten Angels. Hence that's a tattoo on my arm actually.
That's a
Forgotten
good name.
Angels, yeah. And then same band transitioned to something called Seventh Shade, and we started like kind of really just changing up the music and everything like that. And I've not been in the band for my guitar's not been. You probably notice when you're coming through the amount of dust that's on my guitar at the moment, because I've got two very small children at home that need a lot of my time. And yeah, it's kind of it's going to come back at some point. So maybe watch this space. Maybe this is like the start of it coming back into my life.
I'll be asking about it
talk
on
about
every
it, no?
subsequent episode.
And my
where you're at
daughter
with it,
started. My daughter started playing guitar now, and she's only 7.
Aw.
But I taught her the first riff that everybody
Oh, she's so lucky.
smoke on the water.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 that
Getting
one.
started at that young age is such an advantage with a
Yeah.
musical skill like that.
But
She's
now
so
I'm
lucky.
thinking, wow, what a time to be in this world now with AI and being able to jump on YouTube and
Yeah.
learn an instrument and
Yeah.
learn an instrument through AI by notation and everything like that, to be able to understand it a little bit more, rather than the whole kind of going back to the classroom notation, all that type of thing. That,
I've
you
never
know,
been one for classroom learning.
No.
I'm a hands-on,
Same.
learn by doing
Same.
kind of person.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Same.
I'm a practical person.
Well,
100%.
this I think this is what's so amazing about AI and where it can really help people like ourselves. You know, I always said this is how I struggled all the way through education, you know, all the way through school until my early 20s, where I started to thrive, I started to really understand what I could do creatively. But I feel like now the people that got left behind with the standard curriculum in schools, that hopefully there's going to be a shake up soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
feel
ability-
that's coming with Andy Burnham.
Well, with education in general, I mean, we've had YouTube University for a while, right?
Yeah.
That's been a thing where you could probably find a tutorial on almost anything you needed to on YouTube for quite some time. But AI allows you to have a personalized tutor that understands your learning style, understands where you are in your progress, and can tailor individual sessions for you. I mean, that I knew nothing about putting up a website 4 months ago, but I have a live BlueCapAI.com now. It's using ChatGPT Sites Builder to make some really awesome interactive sections, and there's even a page on there that houses all the research that kind of backs up my method that I was talking about, and runs an automated search once per month to see if any subsequent reports have come out that, you know, from the same organization, and keeps it all nice and organized with drop down menus and stuff. I knew nothing about how to put that together, and AI has been able to teach me basically how to be somewhat of a web developer.
Yeah, so I want to go back to the whole guardrail subject matter, and when you talked about hacking, and that's the one thing that worries me the most. You know, you can have your most complicated passwords, but how can we kind of make it a little bit more bulletproof?
So without getting into it too into the weeds, they're called 0-day vulnerabilities, which is a new vulnerability, some software that's been around for a while. Everyone feels like it's pretty secure, but then we put a smarter AI to the task, and it finds some little hole it can squeeze through and hack into your information. It happened recently with a lot of Bitcoin wallets, actually, where people's Bitcoin wallets started to get emptied out, and they think that it was one of the Chinese models that did that. Yeah, you just have to make sure that you have your assets really locked up, make sure that you're using the strongest passwords that you can, and kind of keep your eye on the horizon, because it's that next model that we have to be worried about. Many of the large AI companies have recently come out and said, we want to start pacing release so that we don't have some wildly strong model come out and then basically allow people to hack into banks or anything they want to before those vulnerabilities get closed. How that gets done, the legislation behind it, super complicated. And, you know, smarter people than me will hopefully figure that out. But yeah, keep your assets kind of locked up right now. You know, even air gap stuff. So like if you have a Bitcoin wallet, make sure it's offline and just not attached to any Wi-Fi. It's that time.
It is that time, isn't it? And I think that's, I think that's what everybody's worried about the most. Like,
But you're always going to have that, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
No matter what, it's never going to go away. Do you know what I mean? Because everything's going to get smarter. You know, when you think of, you know, there's more chance of you getting hacked than getting burgled these days, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? So it's always something that you're going to have to contend with, isn't it?
And let me clarify, you should never give passwords, PIN numbers, anything, your personal identifiers to your AI assistant, but you can tell it, hey, I have these types of accounts. What should I do to make sure they're as secure as possible? I mean, use the AI to combat the AI hacker.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
use it for like privacy security, so to speak. Yeah, I think the only thing I've given my chat GPT is my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, anything
that.
public like that is fine.
Yeah,
you know, your
like
LinkedIn
my
link,
business
your
name.
website link, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't want to give it, like I said, pass numbers,
Yeah,
PIN
bank
numbers.
details.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you
Account
never have
numbers.
your personal details on your social media anyway. You wouldn't do that.
No.
So why should you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Why should you put it into?
Exactly. If you
But,
wouldn't
I mean,
post it on Facebook, you shouldn't be putting it in an AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
But
good
you're
way
still
to
going to
put it.
find it though, aren't you? Because when we were at the conference for Digital Cheshire, there was the guy from cybersecurity.
Yeah, the cybersecurity guy.
He was an ex-copper, wasn't he? And is that right?
I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but yeah.
But he was
that sounds
talking about an
right.
accountancy, putting the numbers into putting accounts into ChatGPT and asking them to sort it for the client.
And that is
Yeah,
the
that'd
thing
be
that's
crazy.
happening with a lot of the businesses is their adoption of AI is outpacing their ability to use it. So you need to have the training, put the guardrails on first before you release AI to your people and just say experiment. Because a lot of people will misunderstand that, oh, I can't just put the whole PDF in there with all of the company details,
Yeah.
right? And it's really the company's fault for not providing that type of training, which is what at BlueCap AI we're moving into doing, obviously. We're helping businesses to prepare for that by setting up small pilots that are in a safe, controlled environment. You prove that it works, you prove that it's safe on a small scale, and then you slowly adopt it out to the wider team.
Let's go back to our businesses a little bit more now, because that's part of it as well. So where do we see ourselves? So like with all the fantastic work that you're doing at the minute, Helen, with what your business is doing in terms of first aid training, etc. What's your vision? What do you want to achieve for what you do?
So my vision, that's a good question. Because my vision's always been, I often feel like I've been like surviving, if that makes sense. So, I mean, if I could get to the point where I'm not just on, it's just my salary. Do you see what I mean? If I could get to a point where I've got maybe just, I'm not saying I want to run a massive company, but maybe just a couple of people. So I've got money coming in from different areas, so to speak, or, that sort of stuff.
Totally get
just
that.
expand a little bit.
Yeah. And
So-
do you think working with Will and utilising AI to automate things could possibly get?
Oh,
you to
I
that
said that to you 100%. Like, I think it's an ever-changing world with AI, and like Will's like to me is like a font of knowledge. It's like
You're progressing fast.
So I think
Keep Will close.
Yeah, I think
Nobody's taking Will out of our hands.
I mean, I always say like I'm not a really techie person, but I always try my best with it. But I like to understand things. Like I really do like to I have to understand things, probably a little bit too much sometimes. But like I say, since I've worked with Will and BlueCap AI, I just feel like it is an investment for me to build my company. So I think you can, like say, you can go to network and you can meet all like different people, but I've been to networking and nothing comes of things, and and it's all a learning curve. Don't get me wrong. I met some amazing people, but I think Will's probably and you obviously, Paul, two of the best people I've met in regards to where I am right now and what I've actually needed, to progress my business, basically.
Let me throw something out there because it's what I was intending for us to do in our next set of sessions. If we get you set up with ChatGPT sites so that you can put a web page up.
Oh yeah, building my website.
What would you put up? Like what would that homepage look like?
Okay, so I mean, predominantly right now I'm a freelancer. I primarily do first aid. My initial sort of thoughts at the time when I was thinking about building a business was doing fire training as well. So I showed you my business card, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'll show you. I've got one for you today, so I can give it later. So predominantly it's been more like maybe more of a health and safety, because there is a lot of first aid companies out there, so it's not exactly a niche or anything like that. So there is a lot of competition.
That's where it comes down to your kind of presentation style and your flair, and people like working with you because you're nice to be working with. Like there's a million people out there giving AI advice, and I just hope that I can be the more personable, more relatable of the group, and people want to work with me.
Exactly that. Yeah.
There's tons of people setting up studios left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not as good as ours, but we do pride ourselves on very much. It's not just the output and the quality, but it's the customer service,
the full experience.
And you're so right, and it comes down to that individual, and it comes back to the why you started it.
Yeah,
I'm
always very passionate about what I do. I like helping people. I like helping people. Helping people learn, and I think as a trainer you have to be approachable. Yeah, people need to like you. Do you know what I mean? So loads of people said to me, "Oh, we've had first aid training, and it's like really, really strict." People need a fun way of learning, I think. And
you have a pretty interactive show, right? You have
yeah,
dummies
100%.
and stuff that you work with on the floor.
Yeah,
and is it just
I've
CPR,
invested.
like clearing the airway that you do now? Or is it more like someone with a heart attack issue or someone having a stroke?
Yeah, so it depends on what course you want to do. So basically, like if a one-day course is emergency first aid. So basically you cover CPR, all sort of airway management, so choking, anaphylaxis, seizures, bleeding, and burns generally. And then if you want to, if you sort of like if you work in a higher risk environment, basically, businesses will send like a supervisor like on a 3-day course. So if you do like the 3-day course, then you sort of delve into sort of medical emergencies a little bit more, so like diabetic, heart attack, strokes, that sort of thing. Okay.
And what is your why then? Why did you start doing what you do?
Well, my background's dental, so I kind of worked my way up sort of like through that, and then I was working for corporate.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of training with ex-paramedics there, so I built a lot of knowledge through them. It was really good, because in a dental practice, you've got, I don't know if you know this, but you have a load of drugs for emergency situations because it's healthcare. So off the back of that, whether, I don't know if I had a midlife crisis or what, I'm not too sure. But I thought, okay, if I don't, start my own business now, I'll never do it.
Yeah, that's
so
funny. My mom and I were having that same conversation like 2 nights ago. She was like, I'm really happy that you've started all of this. And I was like, Mom, I'm approaching mid-40. I was like, you can't really do this at 55. Yeah. You really have to get it done, at a certain point.
If you're going to do it, it's now or never sometimes.
Make it or break it.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. And I spend a lot of time on the road, I covered the Northwest anyway, so and I kind of like being I kind of like being my own boss a little bit, even though I was working for a company, predominantly I was on my own all the time. So so I thought maybe I should just go for it, basically.
And I see this as a huge trend that doesn't catch enough headlines. So the thing that people talk about is corporations laying people off because of AI, which is terrible. But what we're not talking about enough is those people who got laid off can now, with the use of an AI tool, start their own business. And the fact is that an AI tool in the hands of a person who has a specialty, who knows how something should be done, is much more valuable than the higher up CEO who knows how to manage labor and organize teams, but really doesn't know how to get the work done that the company does. And they're hollowing out all of their talent, and those talents are just going to go out and become their next competitor. There's a lot of people saying that the next billion-dollar company will be run by like 3 people, and that's a real threat when the corporations are caught in the momentum of how they do things. They have big buildings, they have programs in place and training systems, whereas a 3-man band can pivot when the next thing comes out, when the next tool happens. You can jump on it and be reactive in a way that is necessary in this curve that we're in.
And thank God. Yeah. Actually, it's coming back round to smaller businesses like that can be able to thrive.
My dad, not to go on about too much about background, my dad retired through ill health at 46. So similar age to what I am now. And I think it carried a lot with me. And, when I think about, workplace culture now is so much better than it probably was when my dad was working, basically. So I think that part of that is stems from it as well. So I think there's a lot more emphasis on people's well-being, being trained in first aid, and like I say, work safety culture. So I like being a little bit part of that, I think.
I count myself pretty lucky, really, because I've never been in the corporate environment. I've never been in that size of company where I see day to day, by the way, because we don't just record podcasts, we go out to these companies of all sorts of size. You see really amazing values and really happy staff to very, very poorly treated staff and very toxic environments. You almost get a feel for it when you walk through the door.
You can smell the stress.
Yeah. And I'm pretty lucky because I've never been in that. I've gone from restaurants to restaurant for quite a while, to learn from somebody who taught me photography on the job, then going into places like Best Western Hotels and Silver Cross brands and producing videos with him and photography with him, and I learned everything just through that one person on the job.
So learn by doing. Yeah.
And now we run the studio doing all these amazing projects, but there's only a very small team behind it, i.e. me, Joe, and Jess, who's producer. And it's just, and the stuff that we can just do between us, and we're all in one room, and we're not, there's no like middle person where they have to go through to get things signed off and everything. And like, we're trying new things. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
You know, and this is where I count myself really lucky. Because
it's almost like you got a bit of freedom and no red tape, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we work for companies where there is the red tape in there, so there's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
But when it's our baby, like, we can do this. You know what I mean? It's like we can open up late at night and do this. You know, we can do
It's
whatever.
3 a.m. in a warehouse in LA. That's where we are filming this right now.
My God, I wish we were in LA at the minute.
Yeah.
He's lying, everybody. We're in Warrington.
You wouldn't be able to tell it. You wouldn't be able to tell it.
But to be fair, though, you wouldn't be able to tell it. So, like, we do when I say we pride ourselves on the output of our quality and everything that we do within the business for customer service, how we treat our customers, how we treat staff, how we treat subcontractors that come into the business to do jobs. Our values across the board is like very important to us, and how human beings are treated within that environment and not being in that toxic environment. I've been in studios as well, where it's really quite a toxic environment. You know, there's lots of people running around shouting, you know, and like, you know, if you do one thing wrong, you know, you're out, you know, and it's just the wrong way to be.
Absolutely.
But I've learned from all the mistakes, you know, from other people, and like, I don't want to be in that environment. I want people to enjoy what they do. I want myself to enjoy what I do and be proud of what we're outputting. So,
some of the most valuable lessons I ever learned from the people I work for are the things not to do.
yeah.
The negative example, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Where you're like, I'll never be like that guy.
I don't want to be like that. No.
So now I'm thinking within this conversation, like, I'm still thinking about the title of this show.
Yeah.
And I think it should be called the AI Roundtable and a little bit more.
And a little bit more. There's always a tangent, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like AI Roundtable. Hopefully we can start bringing in a mixture of different people and different specialties to talk about how these AI tools are used in different ways, and also just the crazy everyday life of AI, because it is just all these massive companies and this dog eat dog fight, you know, all hacking each other and suing each other, and you know, there's scandals. Why are they all run by someone who's like a crazy person, Sam Altman and Elon Musk and stuff? It's a wacky world of AI, and that's why I can't get enough of it personally.
Well, maybe that's what we'll talk about a little bit more. What's going on in the day-to-day world, you know, and how it is impacting people. That's the one thing I'm finding a lot as well. Is like there's a lot of stress out there. There's a lot of anxiety around what's going on in the world already. Never mind all this new technology keep being chucked at us without any guardrails or like people to help us through that process. You know, and I think that's really important to have people like you, Will, who are on it all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
On
agree.
it all the time.
100%.
You know, and we're getting fed with messages all the time about, you know, what have you seen this video? Have you seen that video? And it's just refreshing to know that there's somebody good that wants to do good for people, and it comes from the right place, and which is the heart, you know, and I think we talk a lot more about we'll invite people onto the podcast, and
we're going to start calling it the cast in our private conversations. We're going to totally just get so producer led, you know.
So it's exciting.
Yeah,
it's really exciting. I think we should call it a day. I think we should stop the conversation there.
Okay.
I think we could, and I think we should put this out to people. This is the first ever one of the AI Roundtable, and just see where it goes. That's life.
To the moon.
To the moon. What's that off? Is that off a film?
That is from the old black and white television show where he was talking about punching his missus to the moon. I can't remember the name of the. This is a very old American sitcom.
I was thinking Buzz Lightyear.
I was thinking something like Minions. Like to the moon.
Yeah, because that was what he would say. He would say to the moon, and that was it. Yeah.
Is this what it's called? That's what it's called, isn't it?
Maybe that's what it's called.
What's the podcast called? To the Moon.
I like it too.
We can finish it off with To the Moon.
Well, then.
All right, to the moon.
To the moon. Here we go.
Cut there.